Is it going to do pastors a lot of good when someone who is mentoring them or should be mentoring them or maybe is their supervisor or boss, does it do them a lot of good when the person above them creates an atmosphere where they don't have to know everything? In fact, an atmosphere where they could be free to not know.
Absolutely. Well,
a whole lot of things.
Yeah, I'm in a large staff with 17, 18 pastors, a leadership community of probably 60 people, elders and so forth, councils and whatnot. And one of the joys of that, and it can be done with 6 people. It doesn't have to be 60. It's not about size. It's about choice and
but it
integrity.
Could be with 2, right?
It could be with 2 people. So it's like our conversations where there's a willingness to be who I really am. And if I'm not a very healthy person right now, I got to own that if I want to get healthier. And when I'm healthy, I don't have to apologize for it. It's like, hey, Tom, I got to tell you what God did in my heart. It's the neatest thing. It may be a sin I've been able to find victory in because I was willing to let God come in and free me, you know. Anyway, point of it is colleagues are shaping each other all the time, and we're creating atmosphere. Pace of the leader, pace of the pack. We've heard that from many divines out there. It's true. And so my heart is anywhere I go. When I work in a small group and I go visit a member at his workplace, I hope I can create a context through my own vulnerability and transformative commitments that they can begin to feel safe in my presence. People feel incredibly safe around Jesus, and he knew everything. He knew everything about him. He says, "Oh," and he would ask him questions that nobody would dare ask him because he wouldn't know that about him. And what I've found is if I can let myself be like that in Jesus and let him pull out of me what he wants and put into me what he wants, I can extend that to others. And spiritual life really starts to happen. And if colleagues can do that, we really can create an atmosphere in our church.
Okay, you said
important.
You said on a large staff, being a good colleague is not an accident. We could say this about a smaller staff too, but I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and in a smaller church, your colleagues are your elders and deacons. So, you know, the 10 or 20 people are going to be the glue for an organization to really thrive. Having a level of honesty and transparency to where I know when to defer to my brother because he's more gifted that way, or he's experienced differently, or I know his life journey is different. I can trust him to give me a perspective I know I don't have. And I don't need to go live his life to have it. I got him. He's my brother. And then I have experiences to share, and I'm not, infallible. I can just offer them up for what good they might be. This freedom to be who you are and where you are, and not constantly have this sort of nervous about, oh, I've got the spiritual thing down, I got to be sure to have it on. That being on guard and trying to project a certain image, and I spent many years trying to do that, pretended very well, and there was real spirituality in there, but it was covered over by this thing I felt I had to carry. That's why, the world looks at that and kind of goes, what? And, Jesus, yes, but not that. And so I think we need to melt that away and realize, our people don't really need that either. And we can bring vulnerability, authenticity into where we are. We're not perfect. We're being perfected by Jesus. And that's a messy business, and that's why we come together in a small group. We go out and serve. We don't wait till we're done. We get started right away. Hey, come and follow me. I'm going to make you fishers of men. And he didn't say, oh, you haven't been to Bible school? Go to the Sanhedrin, get some permission, and I'll let you come back and go help me do, care for people. So we can get involved into the work of the church, but this attitude of, I'm just a project that God's working on, even as a leader, and I can set an environment where my church can say, hey, we can be a learning environment. We can teach each other. God can use our gifts, our abilities. I can read this book, you can read that. We can have an honest sharing. Now, it takes some vulnerability to do this. I've been in small groups where people could not stand that. They wanted me to tell them the answer. Hey, I came here I don't want any doubt. Don't ask me a question I might have to think about. And you just asked me a question and didn't give me the answers. You give me more questions.
And this is the pressure, right?
Yeah, ambiguity? Are you kidding me? I thought Jesus settled that. He said it, that settles it. Let's move on.
Now, it's not just pressure, though, right? I mean, it's also the lure of the glory of knowing everything, being
it's a great ego. Listen, there's a reason I did it for 2 decades. It's great for the ego. I mean, it feels really good. And in the absence of a better feeling of being truly real and authentic in Jesus and knowing that he is changing you at a deep level, and that you don't have to run out and tell everybody unless an opportunity arises where you can and should share it, that's powerful. And you see the difference in people when they hear a testimony of an honest, transformative moment you had out. I think I shared with you the other day, I had a transformative moment out in a store with a lost person of another faith. And it was powerful to me and to her too. Those kind of things happen because we're on a journey with the Lord, being made more like Him, realizing that we're not like Him yet. We're becoming that way. I think I'm a lot more like Jesus than I used to be. But guess what? There's a whole lot more. And the knowledge of that keeps me humble toward my colleagues, toward my members. I let my members need to know that I'm trying to be authentic, not perfect. And
Okay,
in our context, we get permission to be real. I have freedom to fail in the right direction. A righteous man may fall, but he's soon up again. Fall in the right direction. So if I'm falling toward healthy environments and authentic and transformative and biblical and the one another we should have, now I'm not on show. I don't have to be like on guard. I can be real. And even my failures, as much as I hate to admit them, my people love when I admit an honest failure. They know I'm not trying to fail, but when I do, I can say, hey, I blew this and I need to tell you why, and here's what God's been teaching me. And I'll say to them, can you all pray for me? Because I don't want to fail like that, but it's in me. And people are going, I can't believe he's saying that. Because I feel that way too. I feel like that. And we can so easily pretend in the Christian community, and it's an expectation to be good so the world will look at us and think we're different. But the pretending needs to go, and the authenticness needs to be there. The world knows we're not perfect. What they want to know is, are you real? And when I'm really set free from sin, when I'm really experiencing the love and power of Jesus to make me do things I otherwise wouldn't do, the world notices that. And they're hungry for that, because believe me, no one's selling what Jesus is. No one.
He doesn't have a big enough yard to worry about raking too many weeds, does he?
Like wherever you sample the light.